Universal Studios has a ton to offer their guests. From City Walk to Islands of Adventure, there is a ton of exciting things you can do. Jurassic Park, Hong Kong, and Harry Potter. So getting a job there is incredibly competitive. But I'm about to make it a lot less competitive for you. I'm going to give you actual questions you are going to get asked during your interview and teach you from a recruiter's perspective how to answer them. Let's go. Now, the first question you can expect to get asked, and you're gonna have to nail this, is why do you wanna work at Universal Studios? This is the most important question you're going to get asked at most job interviews that you attend. And answering this question is actually super simple. What you wanna do is use the 50-50 technique. Now, the 50-50 technique basically states that whenever you are asked a question, why do you wanna work here, the first 50% of your answer needs to be talking about the company. Why is the company interesting and compelling and exciting to you? And the second 50% needs to be about why the job is a great fit. So you can pick numerous things talking about Universal. You could be talking about your love for all the parks. You can be talking about the love for the movies that they're able to bring to life through their parks. Whatever it is that you want to put there that's compelling, and then end up talking about why you were a great fit for the role and why the role is exciting for you. And if you can do both of these things, aim for 45 to 90 seconds, you are going to absolutely nail it. Now, the next thing they're going to ask you in your interview is, do you have any experience working in the theme park industry? If so, explain. Now, two things here. It's either going to be a yes or a no for you. If it's a yes, it is quite easy. You can talk about how you've worked previously in the theme park industry, how you enjoyed it, and you found that work exciting and rewarding. Now, if the answer is no, here's the first key. Do not panic. It is okay. They still hire people who don't have theme park experience. Not everybody has that. But what you want to do here is say, no, I haven't done that in the past. However, and then talk about the work you've done previously that is similar. So maybe it's customer facing. Maybe it's something where you're doing customer service or sales, whatever it is that's related to the role you're applying for. What you want to do is find the commonalities there and play up your ability to succeed in this environment based on what you've done in the past. If you can do this, you'll crush the question. Now, the next question is pretty similar, and it's, do you have customer service experience? Thinking about working in a theme park, it is obvious that you are going to deal with a lot of people. So customer service is of utmost importance. After all, this is the service and entertainment industry. They want to make sure their guests have a good time. So if you don't have customer service experience, you could say, no, I haven't, but I understand the importance of it, and it's something that I think I would really thrive in because I love interacting with people and solving problems. That's a great way to answer it. If you do have customer service experience in your background, then you want to say, yes, I do, absolutely. And you want to talk positively about the job you had, how you interacted with the customers, and how it gave you energy. It gave you motivation, and you enjoyed the work. If you answer this question and it is not positive, and you do not give them the impression that you like this type of work, you're probably not going to get chosen. Now, this next question is a pretty straightforward and broad question, and it's, how would you describe your work ethic? Now, whenever you are asked a question like this in an interview, it's really important to think about, okay, well, what is the environment I'm interviewing for, right? And when you think about Universal, what do you think? Well, you probably think, well, it's a fast-paced environment. It's probably an environment where you're going to be collaborating with a lot of different people to achieve a common objective, right? So maybe you like a team environment. And what else? It's fast-paced. So what you might want to say here is just talk about your work ethic and be like, I see myself as a very hard worker. I thrive in an environment that's fast-paced. I like working with other people to achieve common objectives. I find that to be motivating and exciting, and I'm reliable. These are all things that are going to be incredibly important in the type of environment. So you can feel free to tweak this and make it your own, make it realistic and authentic to you, but think about the environment. What would matter to them, right? And someone who works hard, someone who is reliable, someone who is energized by working with people. These are all things that are key. So if you can find a way to weave this into your answer, it's a big win. This next question is kind of pass-fail. Are you willing to work nights, weekends, holidays? If you say no here, you're going to put yourself at a distinct disadvantage of getting hired. If you say yes, but there is a lot of hesitation, you are also going to put yourself at a distinct disadvantage to get hired. It is key here when they say, are you willing to work nights, weekends, and holidays? You go, absolutely. I understand that Universal Studios, you guys are going to be open. You need people to work that. And I would be willing to do that. I'm really flexible in this regard. Saying that, or something very similar to that, is going to give you a big advantage over everybody else who hesitates or says no. So if you really want that job and you're interested in being perceived as a great fit and a flexible candidate, you want to say yes. This next question is a bit of an easy one to me, but it's also one where it's really easy to get wrong. And that's, what type of environment are you most comfortable in? Now, whenever you're asked this question, basically you want to describe their environment, right? And you want to describe it in a convincing way. For Universal Studios, what you might want to say is, I'm most comfortable and motivated in an environment that is fast-paced, where there's a lot going on, and you get to interact with people. That's the type of environment that I'm really enthusiastic about, and I find that I thrive in. That's a great way to answer this question. But it comes down to, what is the environment that you're going to be in? Because that is the environment you need to thrive in when you're specifically interviewing with a company. This next question is, how do you feel about interacting with guests all day long? And this is another one of these questions that falls under the category of pass or fail. If you answer this question like, I feel terrible about that, I wouldn't want to be around guests all day long, they are not going to move forward with you. And if they sense hesitation or like you're not really enthusiastic, they're not going to want to move forward. So the only way to pass this question is to be enthusiastic about it. You want to say something along the lines of, honestly, I feel great about that. I love interacting with people and I love solving problems, and I find it really rewarding to make someone else's day. So being in an environment where I get to be around guests all day, I get to see them enjoying themselves, and when there are wrongs, I get to right the situation for them, saving their day, that is motivating to me, is exciting to me, and it's the type of thing that actually energizes me. This is a great way to answer this question. It's the ideal way to answer this question because you are fully embracing that environment, but also energized by it. It is your ideal environment, and making sure they feel that in your answer is incredibly important. Now, these are all pretty standard questions, but they're also going to ask you behavioral interview questions, which are pretty challenging. I don't have enough time to include them in this video, but in this one right here, I'm going to cover 3 of the most challenging and common behavioral interview questions you're going to get asked in your interview with Universal Studios. So I'm done here, but I will see you over there.